So we're here with Hetal Engineer, who is a small business lender, and today he's going to be talking to us about what he does on a day-to-day basis, what got him inspired to get into helping small businesses, and also how he can help you or other people that you may know in the future. So Hetal, go ahead and tell us what exactly got you into the lending business and what you can do for all our viewers out there.
Absolutely. No, Jamie, I appreciate joining today. So listen, I'm in SBA lending, small business lending. Been doing it for 25 years. I've been in Orlando since '87, so I've really had a great opportunity to help a lot of individuals, a lot of families, a lot of families that have now acquired a business, started a business, grown that business to that next generation now that owns that business. So all types of companies. The company that I work for right now is called the Bancorp, so I have a dual role. I lend locally for the bank, so I can handle projects anywhere in Florida, but I also manage our national sales team, which we do lend nationwide as well.
So what exactly is small business lending? There's all different types of lending. There's mortgages, and then there's private equity loans, and then home equity loans, and small business loans. Like, what is the difference between those, and why is what you do the best option for people wanting to start a business?
Sure, yeah. I mean, many people have many options for financing, but in the SBA side, the main key criteria on SBA lending is it helps people start up businesses. It helps people acquire the businesses, even if there's not collateral, not real estate. It provides for a longer term amortization for that loan, so it keeps the payments lower, and it provides for a lower down payment. So that's what the small business, what the SBA agency was built for. It was to help people in situations many years ago when they couldn't get a conventional loan, and an SBA loan was a last resort. Those things have actually changed now. SBA loans are now not a last resort loan. Now they are a situation where it's the primary vehicle for helping small businesses, grow right now in this market.
So when it comes to these loans, how can someone looking into engaging someone like you to help them with their small business, what can they do to be prepared? Like, I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork involved and like a lot of criteria. Because I know when I recently applied for a mortgage for an investment property, oh my God, it took hours and hours of prep. So what's on your list?
Yeah, I mean, it's the main thing is to be organized. I mean, it is a situation where acquiring a loan is helping a bank understand that you know what you want to do. Whether it's starting up a business, whether it's acquiring a business, whether it's expanding a business, the preparation first is to really, first of all, know what you want to do, be able to explain it in a business plan, be able to explain it in a summary, and then from that standpoint, really organizing your paperwork. Unfortunately, our days of a handshake loan are gone. At the end of the day, it comes down to the paperwork, and it comes down to how well organized you are. So having your tax returns organized, having your financial statements, having your numbers for this year organized, all those types of things are very important. And nowadays, with the situation of portals and drop boxes and all those types of things, many people I find are very organized in what they do.
So interest rates, that's a big buzzword right now. I know we hear about it on the news all day. And then are they going to go up? Are they going to go down? What are we doing in terms of the recession numbers? Are you seeing kind of a change in how many people are actually applying for these loans, number one? And number two, has the process gotten harder or has it gotten easier because less people are applying?
Yeah, listen, interest rates affect businesses, they affect individuals, right? They affect your home equity line, your car loan, your mortgages. But from a business standpoint, it does affect them as well. At the end of the day, we're going to look at the cash flow of the business, and whenever we have done a loan in the past or we do a loan now, we look at what we call a sensitivity analysis on the actual interest rates. So we'll look at, can they make the payment today based on this interest rate? Can they make the payment tomorrow based on an interest rate that is a point or two higher? So we like to make sure that that business that's acquiring a loan can actually afford that loan. The last thing that we want to happen for anyone is for them to acquire a loan and not be able to pay it back. So as rates have gone up, it makes it tougher, but that's why the SBA loans are great for this, because it's a long-term amortization. If you have a loan for 25 years, then if an interest rate goes up 1 or 2 points, it doesn't affect the monthly payment as much as if you have a loan for 5 years and and that rate goes up and so.
So talk to me like, okay, I am an individual and I'm being offered a whole lump of cash to start my business with a private entity at like a 10% interest rate or whatnot. I don't have to go through all this paperwork, but I have to go with you through all this paperwork. What are the benefits of going with someone like you through a bank when it comes to whether pros or cons, risk benefits versus private investments?
Sure. Yeah. There's going to be usually the interest rates from a bank are going to be cheaper than what you see from a private investor. And a private investor is going to want to be out of that loan quicker, right? They're going to probably have a balloon in 2, 3 years, that type of thing. You want a situation where you have a 10-year loan or you have a 25-year loan. So if something changes in the economy, something changes in that business, you know that you're not stuck trying to repay that loan over a short period of time. So really matching the structure of the loan to what you're using the loan for is very, very important. The worst thing you could do is to go and get a hard money loan, get a quick loan just to make ends meet at one point in time, because cash flows change, economies change.
So what happened in your business during COVID right now, and where do you see your own business going in terms of helping other businesses going in the near future here?
No, I think that's a great question. The world has changed so much in the last 3 to 5 years. Things that we thought were going to happen were never going to happen are happening, right? So during COVID, it was a time for us to help small businesses. We were flexible on payments, on deferments. We processed the PPP loans. We provided a lot of people the vital, injection of money that they needed to keep their operations going, to keep their employees. That was a key thing. A lot of people have made it out of COVID, and amazingly enough, a lot of industries are actually doing even better after COVID. They knew how to adapt. They knew how to adjust their business, adjust their, where their goods are coming from, be able to do more with less people. So what we've seen is businesses really have become more efficient now in terms of the operations that we're seeing. Not in every case, but in many cases. And lots of companies have evolved. So now what has actually happened for us from an SBA standpoint is that SBA used to be a bad word. No one wanted an SBA loan. It was too much paperwork. It was a hassle. It was too tough to get. Then during COVID, when people heard of SBA PPP loans and EIDL loans, and they heard about all these other types of loans that they could get, they embraced it. They understood that it helped, and that we've seen lots of those customers come back and say, "Hey, I had a good experience, and you guys helped me with your SBA loans during COVID, during a tough time. I want to continue and expand with an SBA loan itself."
So just a myth here, random question here. Is it easier to get a loan if you have a green initiative?
No, that's a great question. I mean, yeah, the green initiative, it does help in certain things. There's an SBA loan called an SBA 504 loan that specifically actually provides for a green initiative. It actually allows you to go beyond the cap of SBA lending if you do multiple green projects. So yeah, there is for sure an opportunity there. There are opportunities if a person's a veteran. There are opportunities if there are minorities. There are certain programs that come and go, but in general, you see SBA loans being provided to the minority classes within business itself. Not just that. I talk about that, but the great thing and the changes that are happening with SBA now that are going to be instituted starting August 1st is you're going to see that SBA loans open up to a lot of people that are even very well heeled, very successful, they have a lot of liquidity, but now even those individuals that have grown their business will be able to obtain an SBA loan as well.
Now, you mentioned a cap. Is there a cap on these loans? Is it dependent on what the business is, or is it just one set amount for everyone that applies?
Sure. Yeah, no. So in general, the SBA has a couple of loan programs, but the go-to SBA loan program is called the 7A program. That does have a cap for $5 million. So in general, you're capped at $5 million. There's another program called 504 that is used for more larger real estate programs, and you can get much higher lending.
So, Hetal, I know this is going to sound funny, but it's actually a serious question. Are there any loans or programs where you get money but you don't really have to pay it back? Kind of like during COVID, there were all these programs. Are there any more programs like that left out there?
There, a lot of those programs that were there have actually have gone away. But the SBA is always looking for opportunities. There are programs right now for up to $500,000 of an SBA loan. There's a fee waiver, so those fees aren't there. They're constantly looking for ways to put more money out and find ways. So those programs are evolving, but the programs that we looked at during COVID have gone away. Yeah.
So, final question on my end. Conferences, how does that help you? How does that help people like me that may be looking into starting a small business?
This is a great conference. It's great to have information. Information makes everyone successful, right? So being at the conference, learning from speakers there who are there, meeting exhibitors that are there, and really honestly learning from other people that are there. You're going to learn, there's so many people that you can network with that are in business, that own other small businesses, that own things in other industries. You can learn from them about operational, inventory, how are they running their cash flow. So I'm so excited about this conference. I have not been able to be involved in the past, but we are sponsoring the conference this year. We're going to be involved in a breakout. We're involved. We're going to be spending the day there, not just from the SBA side, but we also have a fleet leasing group within the bank that's also going to be there. So I highly recommend. Don't just look at the agenda. Look at the opportunity to meet other people, and it's going to be a great conference for sure.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting you mentioned. You're absolutely right. Like, don't just come looking at the agenda, because yes, you can learn, but you never know what's going to end up becoming either a networking relationship or a business relationship. You may find a partner to do your business with, whether it's from a lending side, whether it's from an amenity side, whether it's from a true business partner side. So there's definitely benefits to getting together and meeting. And hopefully while you're there, you'll go and say hello to Hetal and his team. So Hetal, thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you at the conference, and we will end with any final thoughts that you may have for those viewing us today.
Listen, it's a great year in 2023. We made it out of COVID. We're going to have a great time at the conference. We're going to meet a lot of people. We're going to network, and you never know what comes out of these conferences and who you meet. So I'm really excited to meet as many people as I can at the conference and spend a couple of great days there.
All right, we will see you, and let's lend and do business together.
Sounds great. I appreciate the opportunity. See you at the conference.